Students, today we'll be doing a history class of class 9. We'll start with chapter 3, that is Industrial Revolution. First, we'll start with the meaning of revolution. In simple language, revolution means change. I think you must have come across this revolution, the word revolution, in the other chapters also, earlier chapters also. For example, here, a revolution means when the river water overflows with much current and the banks submerge, creating havoc in the surroundings. It is called flood. Flood water washes all the dirty materials of the river bank and brings complete change there. So, revolution has much similarity with flood. In general, revolution means the political revolution against the prevailing social system. When the oppressed section of the people undertake movements against the existing rule, it brings massive changes in the society. These changes can be also termed as revolution. Next, we'll go to what is Industrial Revolution. The term Industrial Revolution was first introduced by the famous historian whose name was Arnold Toynbee. He explained the revolutionary change in the lifestyle of human beings brought by rapid changes in production process through the large-scale use of machineries instead of manual labor. There's another historian whose name is Hess. He explained that Industrial Revolution doesn't indicate the period of discovery of machineries, but it denotes the entire period of large-scale use of sophisticated machineries in all spheres of agriculture, commerce, etc. Then next, let us come to the importance of Industrial Revolution. I think you must have heard the saying, necessity is the mother of invention. Necessity inspires the mankind to find a way to overcome such deficit. To escape from natural disasters, human beings learn the use of fire, shelter, agriculture and different equipments for hunting. Till the medieval period, necessity of mankind were not so much like today. They could meet their requirements with the production of their own, and the equipments needed for that purpose were also built by themselves in their own house with their own members of the family. Such production may be termed as cottage industry. Naturally, the production of such cottage industries were very low, and necessity of investment of capital were also much lower. But in course of time, in the European countries, especially in England, such a situation arose where the cottage industries became unable to fulfill the increasing demand of the necessary materials. The innovative thinking of human beings brought widespread changes in the production. Large-scale production became possible with the help of new machineries. Instead of cottage industries, factories began to grow. Huge amount of capital and large number of labor became necessary. There are two different classes of people. One is the industrialists with huge capital, and the other economically poor labor class emerged. And then international competition among different countries also started. So along with production process, the system of communication also witnessed great changes. Huge canals were dug to use waterways, then roads were widened and black-topped. trains and motor cars, trucks, etc. were invented. Now, with the invention of aeroplanes also, the distance between the countries reduced a great extent. Inventions of telephone, telegraph, etc. made communication more easier. Thus, the lifestyle of modern man took a revolutionary change in comparison to that of 200 years ago. Therefore, this period is called the age of Industrial Revolution. Next, we will go with why Industrial Revolution started first in Britain but not in other countries. Industrial Revolution started first in Britain due to the following reasons. Line by line we'll be talking. Firstly, England exceeded the other countries of Europe, all over Europe, in its political, economic stability and national solidarity. Again, England had the greatest colonial power, which helped to accumulate necessary capital for industries. Secondly, due to abolition of serfdom, Englishmen were free to choose their own profession, and thus there was no dearth of industrial workers. Thirdly, raw materials for the productive systems were easily available in England. Fourthly, we find that coal and iron were the two commodities absolutely necessary for running an industrial system were there at hand in England. Lastly, we find that English climate, the climate of English was conducive for spinning, which helped in the growth of textile industries. So this is the regarding why Industrial Revolution first started in Britain and not in other countries. So students will stop here for today. I hope you have understood. Thank you.